Why is Tron or the TRX token suddenly rallying like this? Why does it see no stop? Who's buying here? Who's selling here? Is this all manipulation or is there potentially something fundamental going on? Let's have a look at the data most people aren't considering. Let's dive deep into the on-chain metrics. Now, in the last month, Tron among all the major blockchains increased its capital the fastest. So have a look at the total value locked on-chain. Tron is now at 13.6 billion and it's even beating Solana with 9.2 billion. An increase of 77.8%, and that's in the last week, and 99.6% in the last month. What's going on here? Now, here are the different protocols on the Tron chain. And the one outlier is Just Stables with an increase of 140% in the last month. And so the price went up by 66% today, 96% this week, 136% this month, and Tron almost 4x in the last year, so an increase of 274%. Now, is there a lot of new usage on chain? Do we see a lot of new active addresses, a lot of transactions? Let's have a look. This comes from Into the Block and it shows the number of transactions per day since July 2018. And yes, we are recently in an upwards trend, but I would not necessarily say that this increase justifies the price appreciation. What we've got over here is the number of active addresses over time. This also grows, but also not necessarily as quickly as the price currently appreciates. Now, Tron or TRX is obviously currently riding this bull market. DeFi as a whole is in rapid expansion. And we are getting close to the all-time high. We are getting close to 180 billion that we saw in 2021 during DeFi summer. Now, across all chains, across all protocols, we've got a total value locked of 133 billion. Now, what's interesting is that Tron as a chain has already hit the all-time highs. So the total value locked on the Tron chain is currently at 14 billion. Is this because of an increase in usage or is this because the Tron price itself went up? We can measure this total value locked in Tron, in TRX. And so that's then this chart. And it's unfortunately not that great news. Peaked in October of 2022, measured in Tron, and since then tends to rather decline. Now, with any cryptocurrency, I always like to look at its relative valuation to Bitcoin, because cryptocurrencies in general are highly correlated to one another, right? When Bitcoin goes up, then the altcoins go up as well, and vice versa. Thus, if we don't buy Bitcoin, but we buy something that's more risky, we should expect long-term outperformance. Why else take on that additional risk? Now, here is TRX relative to Bitcoin. So not the US dollar price, but the Bitcoin denominated price. And this is not at an all-time high, but we have seen quite a bit of a rally. And sometimes when we expand that quickly, we might also turn around. Are we turning around already? Or can we have another leg up? Who knows? If we were to hit the all-time high, we could still outperform Bitcoin by 240%, but the potential risk is also dropping by, say, 60%, potentially in the worst case, maybe even 80%. Now, I do not necessarily think that that is likely because crypto as a whole is expanding, money is flowing into the system, the stablecoin market cap is going up and the altcoins tend to outperform, but still it's always important to look at the risks and it's always important to buy low and sell high, and currently obviously we aren't super low in Tron anymore. Now, here's another very interesting metric. Instead of comparing Tron to Bitcoin, we can have a look at Tron in the overall crypto ecosystem. How large is Tron in terms of its market cap relative to the rest of crypto? And the answer is in this chart. This is TRX.D, or the Tron dominance, and it tends to be in a very nice constant trading range. Versus the rest of crypto, there isn't that much more upside, maybe 44%, but there is risk. Risk of a drop of 33%, maybe 66%, maybe in the worst case, 82%. Nobody can say for sure where the price will go, but we have trading ranges and it's always good to know where we are within that trading range. Currently, we are not necessarily super low. Now, here's a very interesting recent development. You very likely do not have access to this kind of chart. This here shows how much advertisers on my YouTube channel pay for 1,000 views of their ads. And it suddenly, out of nothing, spiked to roughly double of what it used to be. In other words, crypto projects, centralized exchanges, etc., they are now competing for advertising space in the crypto scene. And it's not just money that's flowing into advertising for crypto. There's also simply fiat money that's flowing into the space as a whole. The stablecoin market cap tends to rise, and it's recently even accelerated accelerating. So since October of last year, we see money flowing into crypto again. That of course causes a lot of crypto asset prices to go up. And especially in the recent days, since beginning of the month, we also see the altcoins going up in aggregate. So what we have over here is the others dominance. This is how much of all of crypto is in the altcoins that's not in the top 10. That went up by roughly 20% in the last month. And so pretty much everything is now going up. The art in crypto trading though is to buy early, right? It's to buy when the prices are still low. So for example, over here, the Chill Guy token, it's now at 50 cents. But I made a video on Chill Guy when it was still at 20 cents. And I hope a lot of you made money with that video because it was a quite popular one. And so this is the real art, right? We have to get into tokens when momentum is bullish and when there's still enough upside potential. And so this is what this channel is all about, right? It's about discussing tokens that a lot of people don't yet have on their radar. So feel free to subscribe. Now, how can I find tokens like Chill Guy early? Or how can I find things like the GOAT token or the ACT token early? Those are one of the largest pump.fun ecosystem tokens. This is a wallet tracking alert. How Kyle Chessy bought the GOAT token for 14 cents. That was over here. Since then, the price went up by more than 500%. Temporarily, it was up by more than 800%. Who's Kyle Chessy? It's this influencer over here. He's got 137,000 subscribers and he tends to be relatively early on trending tokens. And so here is how that works. We use on-chain analytics again to figure out who is owning what wallet. It's not a very easy task, but we've got an entire community that just focuses on that single task. Find wallets that are very useful, of insiders, of top traders, of influencers. Let's find those wallets and then track them. So over here, we've got the wallets that we track by Kyle Chessy. We've got 12 in total. Well, let's talk about the ACT token. Here's our signal for ACT. CryptoBanter bought the ACT token at 3.7 cents. Now it's at 58 cents. So an increase of 1,500% since that signal. And of course, temporarily, the gain was even higher, more than 2,000%. Now, where do crazy gains like this come from? They come from attention. They come from a lot of eyeballs getting into one single token. And so here are those eyeballs. This is the CryptoBanter channel. They've got 1.1 million subscribers. When they talk about the token, of course the token has to go up. And so we've got 33 of CryptoBanter's wallets. And so really, I think this is the better approach compared to just drawing random lines on price charts. I think it's better to follow the smart money. It's better to follow the insiders. It's better to simply copy trade the people that tend to make money in crypto. And I like this approach that much that I made a dedicated tutorial course just on this. How can we find various influencer wallets? How can we track those wallets? And how can we subsequently also interpret the signals that we get from the tracking? It's 8 videos in total. It's all part of Premium. So that's down below, thebitcoinstrade.com. Premium is not just about wallet tracking. It's also about on-chain analytics, right? The charts that we looked at today in this video. It's also about portfolio diversification, risk management, indicator backtesting. There's more than 100 tutorial videos in total. Once we get our wallet signals, we of course also have to discuss when should we buy, when should we sell. We have to compare the on-chain analytics. That's why we've got dedicated chats on the individual altcoins as well. So feel free to check it out. It's currently $165 per month. There's also a 1-week money back guarantee. So in case you don't like Premium, in case you don't learn anything, simply just message me within the first 7 days and I'll refund you 100%. There's really zero risk for you. Now, since Tron is already relatively high compared to the rest of crypto, since we are at the upper levels of that trading range, does it make sense to now exit all of TRX? Or does it make sense to potentially still buy, hoping for more momentum? Now, the way I think about crypto is that it's a game of risk versus reward. We need to get adequate reward in order to justify the risk. I believe that there's more upside potential for the tokens on Tron. So not for TRX itself, but for the tokens that are traded within the Tron blockchain. In the last 24 hours, we have seen trading volume on Tron of 264 million. And have a look at the top tokens in terms of liquidity. Pretty much all of those tokens appreciated. And while I'm not necessarily a fan of the HTX token, there are some meme coins that get some traction. For example, over here, T-Bull up 60%, or over here, Nitro Sale up 97%. I believe this is where most of the upside currently is. It's in the smaller market cap tokens. If you got some value out of this video, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you in the next video or see you in premium. Cheers.